So we're gonna play a game called Real Housewives of Powodon.
Whoa.
Whoa. So I'll give you a couple quotes,
All right.
and you have to tell me who you think from the cast said them. It's just as easy to marry a rich man as it is to marry a poor man. It's a choice.
Oh my God, I love that statement, by the way. Definitely gonna write it down because it is a choice. No, I'm just kidding. I wish we had the choice. I'm gonna go, is that Robin?
No,
Oh my God.
it's your girl Karen.
No. Oh, I messed up on Karen. Dang.
Yeah, random thoughts which folks say they're pretty sure she stole from Marilyn Monroe. But it fits.
You
It
know, it
works for
does
her.
work for her. I think her brand is about, taking what works from other people and somehow spinning it out to be hers?
Welcome back to another episode at The Run Through, where we talk to folks in the entertainment industry about everything that goes on behind the scenes. I love producing photo shoots. They're stressful, at times chaotic, there never seems to be enough time in the day, but you can always count on having fun. I am regularly in awe of creatives coming together to make magic happen. And it's so impressive to see it happen as quickly as it has to in photo shoots. And fashion is a big part of that, a world that still makes me nervous. But I get super hyped when it works out. Stick with me tonight as we delve into the world of fashion. I've seen my next guest in action at multiple photo shoots, whether working with hair and makeup to ensure that beauty and fashion are aligned, the photographer looking at every detail of a picture to be certain that the looks are flawless, or helping a hot guy stuff himself into a leather jockstrap. He is a consummate professional. More than a fashionista, an artist, really. My next guest is someone that I want with me on set everywhere. A person that stuns with looks that makes you go, why didn't I think of that? Please welcome my friend and stylist, Jacob Bengel.
Hey everyone,
Hey.
it's Jacob.
Well, let's start by letting folks know who Jacob is. So, why don't you give us the run through on you?
Perfect. So my name is Jacob Bengel, like the Tiger or the football team, but I don't watch sports, so that's not applicable to my life. However, I am a freelance stylist, freelance creative consultant, and these days I'm practicing to become a law clerk. So that's really exciting.
That is crazy. You are just doing so much always.
So much, so much, so much. It's just, with everything going on in the world, I realized that, I wanted to get involved in different ways other than just fashion, and fashion is my passion, but it doesn't have to be, the only thing I do in my life. And so if I can get into the system and change some things from the inside out, that's, what I'm trying to do these days as well.
That's great. And I think that I your work has always kind of been within the realm of social justice. At least how I know you is through our mutual work together at Pride.
Yeah.
And
Our prize shoots were always so crazy and fun, and you all were kind of the first shoot that I ever had that gave me so much creative freedom, and that's something I'll never forget.
well, big shout out to our friend Ebony Munn, who was creative director on
Yes.
so many of those shoots.
Uh,
She put in tireless hours, and she's the one that introduced us. So
I know.
we
Forever
miss you,
out to
Ebony.
Ebony. I know I miss her so much. I hope you're doing well in LA if you see this,
Oh,
but
I've seen her
she's
pictures. She's living her life.
living the best life, I'm sure. Everyone who goes to LA loves it, so whatever.
Yeah, right. You know what's funny is like at Pride, we end up having to do a lot of things on our own, and I have accidentally tried to style a shoot. There was no people in it, thank God. It was like
Oh
its
no.
own like fashion shoot. But I just don't know how you do it. Like, I mean, how do you even keep up with trends?
Well, that's really hard. I feel like there's so many different outlets these days to kind of keep trends and so many different brands too. And I think a lot of people's misconceptions are you have to follow like the big five, the Chanel's, the Louis, the Fendi's, the Pradas to kind of see the trends. And I think these days it's really about those smaller, more localized brands that are kind of really giving us the trends that we want to see that, can actually be done that aren't on a price point that's so out of everyone's range. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, honestly, of just collections upon collections and lookbooks and just kind of seeing what I like and what I see that's kind of consistent and, trying to forecast what I think could be, fashionable in the next few months. But these days it's so hard to keep trends. I'm like, everything moves a mile a minute. And I think at least now with quarantine, everyone's kind of been slowing down. So it's nice to see the creative outlets that, everyone's been, posting and creating right now.
Yeah, and personally, I haven't worn pants and I can't tell you how long.
I'm not wearing pants right now, so it's totally cool.
I,
Am I
I
allowed to
gave
say
you a
that?
little I gave you a little sparkle on the top, and I'm definitely not wearing anything below.
I love
So
it. The sparkle is great. It's so
thanks.
good.
Only for you. Everyone else got like t-shirt and jeans.
Oh, now I really feel special. You know how to make a girl feel good.
So that brings us to our first game. Let's play a game called Keeping Up with the Fashions.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm going to give you a few iconic fashion accessories,
Well,
and you have to tell me how you would repurpose them in a photo shoot outside of their standard use to make some fashion history.
okay. This sounds easy enough. It's like my job.
Yeah, I figured you'd be good at it. All right, let's
Let's
go
start.
with probably the most iconic leg warmers.
Okay, so leg warmers, I have to say, it's on my bucket list, something I've never done before. I am just like living life on the edge right now, and I want to wear leg warmers on my arms. I think that's so chic, and especially these days, everyone's doing oversized. I love when your wrist and your hand are just covered by an oversized cuff or an oversized sweater. So I think if you're wearing something like a button down with a really big cuff, it could be cool to I'm not repurposing the wheel or anything. I'm still using it on an appendage, but I think it'd be cool to put it on your arms and rethink how, people just thought they were for legs. It's not really exciting, but,
Yes,
get crazy with
I'm
it.
all. I also have you on this show just so I could like get some tips and
For your
tricks of
everyday
my
use.
own.
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
got some
just for
leg
my
warmers
everyday
back there
use.
somewhere.
Somewhere.
I love
Uh, let's let's try big buckle belts.
I love big buckle belts. I think big buckle belts, what would I do? I think if you have also not reinventing the wheel here, but I think if you have like four of them, stacking belts is my new favorite thing. I started doing it a while ago, and it's kind of something just fun to do with your waist if you're trying to accentuate it a little bit more. So if you have like four different belts, I would say don't even put it in the belt loops and just stack those belts up on your waist, cinch it out and have this like cool kind of corseted belty moment. If not, I've gotten repurposeful with belts before, cut off the ends, like tied them around their arms to make some jewelry. You can definitely make like a choker situation depending on what you're going for. Just depends on how crafty you are with cutting leather. So
That's what I'm talking about. Every time we were on set together, I was like, where did he just pull
I know
this
I would
out
have
of?
random things and I would like rip things apart. I would be cutting things in the middle of like set, just trying to, make a look extra special. So I'm definitely one that gets crafty as soon as I think about it. And I'm the kind of person that doesn't really, I think about the initial mood, the set, and, when pulling clothes. And then I think when you're on set, it's a totally different ballgame. It's, you can't really predict how people are going to feel in the clothing or, how they're going to portray in front of the camera. So you have to be very adaptable in situations like that.
And you are. You really are. You move quick. Um, let's do pearl
Ooh,
necklace.
a classic. I actually just did this a little bit ago, which I think is so fun. I got like a old, just like a bag from Goodwill. The bag reminds me of like Prada re-edition, nylon shape. It's so adorable, but it didn't come with a strap. And my sister actually had an old pearl necklace from my grandmother, and we basically put two little clasps on the end, and I created a whole chain for the bag out of a pearl necklace. So I thought that was a really cool idea. Just thinking about using it in other places other than your neck, and it's always a good choice to keep pearls on you. So why not keep them on your back?
Now, you and I, we worked most recently on a non-binary shoot for Pride in
Ah,
March. It was literally the last thing we did before going
yeah.
full
It was
into
like the
quarantine.
last big working day I had.
What was really great about that shoot was, like always, you came with a lot of creativity. And it really stood out to me that fashion is an art form and people use it to
Yeah.
express themselves. And any tips for folks who are looking to use fashion
Hmm.
in that
I
way?
think fashion is so personal. When it comes to tips or anything, like when trying to break binaries or just do something that's out of the ordinary, it's such a personal journey for someone, and that's the first thing that people see, when they look at your clothing is, that's horrible to say, and we shouldn't think that, and that shouldn't be your first basis of, people, but unfortunately, that is kind of how people perceive things. So if they're going to look, you might as well give them a show. So, if you want to be explorative, if you want to push some boundaries within your soul, you just go for it. Do it at your own pace. Do it comfortably. Do it at somewhere, that you can be free. And if you want to wear a crop top and make that like your first kind of pushing boundaries. Or if you want to, make a whole situation and a moment for yourself and really push those binaries, and go for it. It's just take it at your own pace, do it very personally, and don't really focus on what anybody else has to say about you, because if you constantly think about everything that everyone's saying, then you're never going to hear your own voice in the situation. And I think that's the biggest thing of fashion.
You put something on that makes you feel good, you walk different, you act
It's a
different, you
whole
live
different
different.
demeanor inside of your soul. And that's my favorite part of working on set, is truly getting to see how clothes transform people into the kind of energy you want to see behind the camera. And that kind of collaborative effort is what really got me into styling. But exactly, when you put something on and you feel comfortable and you feel confident or you feel sexy or whatever you want to feel, then you're going to act that way. So just keep dressing for however you want to present yourself.
Like I said before, I've seen you make some quick changes on set, make some adjustments to take a look to the next level.
Mm.
What are you thinking? What's your thought process? How do you plan for that before you get there?
Ooh, there's definitely no plans. First of all, the only plan is that you have a ton of accessories all the time available. You have scissors. You just have pins, everything that you could possibly need to react fast. You got to have it. That's my planning for it. I come, prepared with my actual, the looks of the day and multiple looks and options. And I have the whole overall like story and the mood of the set and, with the photographer and all of that. And then once you get the people into the clothing, that's when everything changes. And my biggest thing is that I want everyone to feel comfortable, to feel confident, to unlock that situation inside of their soul that they haven't seen before. And it's always, I guess I'm also a hype man on set. So I always love to like yell for the people, like, get into it, like, you got it. And so when I'm acting quick like that to take I guess, a look to the next level, it's just I'm seeing something on set and I'm like, my brain's moving a mile a minute. I'm trying to catch up. I'm like inventorying everything I brought in set, and I'm like, wait a second. And then it like all the like stars align for me in my head, and I can't even explain it well, but it just I see it, I see the mood, I see the vision, and then I'm like, wait, I gotta do it. Wait, give me a second. And then I take 5 minutes, cut a dress in half, or split a belt and tie it around their neck, or I think I even took shoelaces off of something once and like tied it around a leather sleeve just to create like tassels on something. You just got to get creative with it. And there's really no explanation for it. It's just when I see it and I see the people and I see their energy, it's just, here's something else that could really take it to the next level.
I mean, for the folks watching, Jacob is not lying. I've literally seen you
I will be like
rip
running.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like take things and rip them apart
Yeah.
and
And just really
repurpose
getting
all the
into it.
time.
Yeah, you really just have to not even think about it. You can't second guess your thoughts, and you just have to run with it.
Let's talk about some celebrities who might need your help repurposing some things. Let's play a game called From Worst to First.
Okay, let's do it.
So, we're going to talk about some celebrity looks, and you have to tell me what you would have done to bring this look from worst dressed to best dressed.
Okay, I love a challenge.
So let's start with Kristen Wiig wearing Valentino at Oscars 2020.
I'm a little biased on this one because I actually loved this look. I completely understand why everyone hated it. It really does look like Stouffer's, like straight out the oven. I mean, straight out the freezer, straight into the oven. But that was my childhood, so maybe that's also why I like it. But I loved this color. I loved Kristen Wiig's like use of the leather glove sleeve. So personally, I just would have gotten rid of that train. I don't know how you tell Pier Paolo of Valentino that you don't want to train on his beautiful red gown, but I definitely would have told him. And I would have kept that black sleeve. I would have done probably a darker eye with the look, maybe something a little bit more black, a little bit more edgy, because I loved that slick hair. And then I honestly would have just shortened the dress just a little bit more, kind of right down to the bottom of that ruffle where you don't really need that end part. And then just a stunning black leather shoe to run with this black leather motif, and just done this kind of contrasting beautiful Valentino gown with these like hard leather accessories that I think Kristen Wiig doesn't really get to show because she's always just supposed to be funny, which is also why I loved this look because it was something so out of the box for her.
Let's go on to Jennifer Lopez, also wearing Valentino at Golden Globes
You
2020.
know, I feel like if you're gonna wear a dress like this, and it's probably the worst dress she had in her lineup this year, I guarantee you, from her stylist polls, the best award show to wear it to of the season is definitely the Golden Globes. But besides the point, I just feel like you need to pick gold, pick green. It's very Christmas. I don't know how no one warned her. Her stylist didn't say like, oh, you know, people aren't going to think of like a holiday theme here. I don't know. But I honestly, I would have kept that bow. I love the bow. I think it could have been so dramatic, even a little bit bigger, but just stick with a solid color and maybe get rid of the white underneath the dress. Um, Other than that, her hair and her makeup and her jewelry are great, but just as again, I don't know how to tell Pierre Paolo I don't like his designs. It crushes my soul, but it's just make the bow bigger and one
I
color,
hear you
and then we
though.
can talk a little bit, a little bit more. Just refine. Cher always says to take one accessory off, before you go out the house. And I think there should have been one less color involved in this scheme here.
I agree with you. I've talked to other people about it. Everyone agrees way too Christmas. Her face, stunning as
Stunning.
always.
She can't go wrong there, but sometimes a face doesn't help the look. So,
Okay, let's move on to a really good one. I want to talk about Joy Villa wearing Desi Allinger at Grammys 2020.
okay. So I did not actually see this look on the runway. I mean, on the carpet at all. So this is really the first time I'm seeing it, and it's I don't even know how to fathom something like this. My only real thought, I guess, is that if you're going to make a PR statement and the only red carpet you have a chance to make a PR statement on is the Grammys, maybe you should rethink your PR statement. Why did you need to put Donald Trump all over, yourself? And to each their own, to each their own. I'm not going to say too much on that, but it's just if you're trying to make a PR statement at the Grammys, you need to go to a different award show and get a different invite because clearly people are not talking enough about you to get you anywhere else. So
Yeah, and what's
we'll
funny is
see.
nothing came of this. Like, I also didn't hear about this right
I didn't
away.
hear this.
I
Yeah.
think
And
everyone
it's
ignored
just
it.
like, yeah, that's the thing. Is like I think she did something previous like the year before and that was a really big moment. So it's just I don't understand, I guess props to her on creating a Met Gala moment at the Grammys because at least she committed to a look, she committed to a theme, and she stuck with it. But other than that, it looks like a hot mess, and it should not be anywhere near this carpet. But
No. So, are there any style icons, celebrities, or industry professionals maybe people aren't super familiar with that you pull inspo from, that you look to for inspiration?
for me, I guess another industry icon would just be streetwear. The people of the streets are the people that tell the story of fashion. And I think that is like the real accessible parts of fashion. So for me, whenever I'm walking the street, whenever I'm riding the subway, I'm such a creep sometimes that I snap people's photos all the time because it's so weird. In New York, it's a little different. You can like call out to people, and be like, "Oh my God, I love your outfit" or something like that. But not everywhere that's acceptable. And no, not everyone wants to hear that either. So I'm such a creep, and I do snap photos of people on the street. But it's literally just because they think of things that I couldn't even think of, or that major brands couldn't think of.
Is there a trend or something that you are like leaning into more heavily right now? I know we're in quarantine and we're
Oh,
home, but
yeah, no, it's still, I put stuff on just to go to my mirror and look at myself, just to remind myself that A, I have the capability of looking good, and B, I can still dress well. Uh, but I think shoulder pads. I'm really excited to dive into different shoulder pad sizes right now. If you look at a few of the past collection seasons of, just Balmain's been doing really large shoulder pads. Rick Owens has always done a shoulder pad. So I think that's something I kind of want to get into, at least personally for myself. I have pretty broad shoulders, so I think the juxtaposition there of having shoulder pads on extra broad shoulders could just be really exciting. So I'm working on something
yeah,
like that
that's
for
nice. I
right
mean, a
now.
shoulder pad definitely will help with like that triangle, upside down triangle situation, right?
Yes.
See,
You got to draw
I
the
picked
eye
up a
up
few
and
things with you.
out. Yeah, exactly. As long as you're
Let's
up and out, you're doing something right. You know.
Well, talking about fashions, there is a show that is killing it right now in general,
Oh my God.
but is also killing the fashions. So I'd
Ooh.
like to get your take on Lovecraft Country in a game we call Lovecraft Couture.
Oh.
So I'll give you a lady,
Okay.
and you just talk me through what your thoughts are on that. I'll
Well.
give you 30 seconds per lady.
Oh.
Let's start with the star of the show, Letty.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what I could say in 30 seconds, but her opening in the first episode, she goes to the diner, when they're in that sundown county, and she's sitting there in that beautiful like cat eye sunglasses. She has the wicker bag, and that is the second I saw it. It's the American Girl. That is the new American Girl. Letty is the American Girl. Anytime you Google it, anytime you think about it, I don't know who Gigi Hadid is anymore, but Letty is the new American Girl. I love it. Her style is great. Ah.
You did it. Now let's talk about Christina.
Okay, so Christina is iconic. I really love her outfits. She just pulls the most insane fits. She always gives me like a YSL silhouette. She has a ton of different moments happening. She has the best headpieces I have ever seen. In that one YSL red dress esque moment, she was wearing that hat that gave me like Jean Paul Gaultier vibes. In another scene, she's wearing that like derby shoe with her pleated pants, and it's very much like I'm going to the private tennis racket court and you're going to the public park. We are different, and I love that about her. She's just stunning, effortless chic.
Christina always looks good.
Stunning all
She's
the
always stunning
time. It's
looks.
just like, how do you do it? A full team, but yeah, literally all of them.
Okay, now let's talk about my favorite character and probably the person that gives me my favorite looks,
Okay.
Ruby.
I love Ruby, but that's besides the point. Her outfits are always classic and timeless, and they fit her personality. And whatever scene she's in, it always kind of helps to retell the story. Especially with her singing, I think it just kind of settles the whole point of how classic and timeless that she is. And her fits are always form fitting when they need to be, but also not too scandalous or revealing, because I feel like she is a classic timeless girl. She knows what she wants. She has her mind on the prize, and she doesn't need to show off everything and under the sun to get what she needs. And I think that is like some of the most beautiful stylings of the show is in her looks.
Well, thank you for doing this. This has been so much fun.
Thank
I,
you for having me. It's so exciting to connect with you as always, and
yeah,
just get to chat about our work and some exciting things. And this is literally the most excitement I've had in my life in months. So thank you.
it's good to see your face after months and months and months.
Months and months and months. I know. Your face was the last face I saw before we went into quarantine. It's the face I'm seeing in quarantine. Hopefully, I get to see you if we ever get out of quarantine. It's just your face is common in this quarantine, let me say.
Well, we'll figure it out for sure. But why don't you take this time and give us a little wrap up info on you, where people can find you, anything that you might be working on or plans for the future.
Yeah. Well, you can always find me on Instagram at jbang1, so JBANG1. That's kind of where I have all of my stuff, such as my website or any of my work or anything like that. And then right now, I'm kind of just working on law school. So if you ever need a lawyer in the future or an exonerating lawyer to help you get out of a situation you're in, feel free to hit me up then. So, but that's at least 3 years away, y'all. So don't get into any trouble right now.
Well, good luck. Congrats on everything. And I am sure that I will be seeing you in the very near future.
Yes.
But stay safe and keep rocking the fashions.
Doing it up. Of course, of
Yeah.
course. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you stay safe, stay sane, and just keep staying afloat over there. Thank you for having me as always.
Well, that was a lot of fun. I've been lost since going into quarantine. I don't remember the last time I wore pants or anything with a button or a buckle. So it was really good to sit with Jacob for a little while and remember that clothes are a thing and can be fun. I hope you had a good time. Continue to tune in with us. Otherwise, you got some splaining to do.